What's up, you guys? It is Coach Mika here, coming to you with some information on ramp-up sets, how to do them, and why you should do them. So what I mean by ramp-up sets is after we've done a bodyweight warm-up on the floor all together as a group, especially if your first workout or exercise of the day is a main barbell movement like your back squats, front squats, bench press, or a barbell deadlift variation, I want you to slowly progress up in weight before you get to your working sets. Why I'm making this video is because typically here at the gym, I see two examples. Example number one is someone who might be a little bit more timid and not super confident with these barbell movements, or they might just not know how much they can lift. And so they walk up to the bar, and their first set, I see written on their binder, 45 pounds, and maybe that was pretty easy, so they did 8 reps. Okay? And then second set, they throw on 25s, so maybe that's 95 pounds, or that is 95 pounds, and they do it for maybe 8 reps again, okay? And then maybe their coach is like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? That looks way too easy. Add some more weight on there. So they throw 10s on there, 115 pounds. I believe that's correct. Yep, 115 pounds. And now maybe that's a little bit more challenging, so they do only 7 reps. Okay? In this example, this person has done their first 2 sets are technically ramp-up sets. They're relatively easy, and there's big jump. I especially know this is happening when there's big jumps in between the exercises. So 45 to 95 pounds is quite a bit of weight, and then even 95 to 115. And so these first 2 sets were pretty easy, and since we're doing 5 to 8 reps, I know that we want more of a strength adaptation, and so they're really not getting that strength adaptation in those first 2 sets. And they really only got one decent set of 7 reps at 115 pounds, okay? And then example number 2 over here, this person might be super eager in the gym and they love barbell back squatting and they're like, heck yeah, I'm ready, let's go. And so they jump right into it and maybe they lift 185, okay? They've done their bodyweight warm-up, but now they're putting 185 pounds on their back, and it is the first exercise of the day, so they're still not super, super warm, and this feels pretty awful, okay? They're really stiff, their joints aren't warmed up, their body is like, holy cow, this is 185 pounds, this is a lot of weight, and maybe they only get 5 reps, and those are really not great looking 5 reps. Maybe they aren't hitting depth and it doesn't feel so good, okay? But they're not willing to back off, so they're gonna do 185 again. And maybe it feels a little bit better, but still not fantastic, and they still only get 5 reps, okay? And maybe their coach walks up to them and is like, hey, that didn't look so great, like let's bring down the weight. And so now they're going down to 165, okay? And maybe that felt a little bit better and they get 7 reps, okay? For this person, their form was pretty terrible and it felt really awful. This is also, they're setting themselves up to possibly get injured with this, and their body is just not ready. And possibly too, like they could have maybe squatted closer to 200 pounds, but because they just jumped right into it, their body was like, whoa, 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 what's happening? And they weren't properly ready and warmed up. Their nervous system wasn't quite woken up yet. And so 185 felt really, really terrible, when in reality, if they did a really great warm-up set or ramp-up sets, they could have probably squatted closer to 200, okay? So why do we do ramp-up sets? Ramping up for your big barbell movements prepares your body to lift the most weight possible efficiently and safely so you can get the most out of your workout, okay? So for this one, they weren't super efficient and they weren't super safe when they were lifting. And for this person, they didn't quite get a whole lot out of their workout. And actually, you could probably argue that this person didn't either, okay? So a couple rules of thumb when it comes to ramping up is when you're getting under the barbell, even if it's 45 pounds as your first ramp up set, I want you to practice that rep as if it was 185 pounds, okay? So every rep should look the same. I find a lot of people think, oh, this is super light, I'm just gonna rush through it. No, I want you to practice your breathing. I wanna make sure you're hitting depth, and you should be pretending that is a super, super heavy weight, because that is going to set yourself up for success. Your body is going to memorize those movement patterns, and so you wanna make sure that every rep is good. And then as you're ramping up, as your weight increases, your reps should go down. When people keep their ramp up sets at a high volume, so say someone does, 8 reps with the barbell, and then 8 reps at 95 pounds, and then 8 reps at 115, that's pretty fatiguing. Like, even if it's not super heavy, they're still adding a lot of volume to their day, a lot of repetitions, and so they might get really tired, and that will prevent them from lifting really, really heavy too. And so that's why it's important to descend those reps as your weight increases. And then last but not least, ask for help. I do realize that not everyone knows how much weight they do want to lift or can lift, and so, or maybe they have no idea how much they should do for ramp up sets or what their jumps should look like. So that's a great time to ask for help, okay? So here is my example for you for a good ramp up set. So say I'm doing barbell back squats. I want to do 3 sets for 5 to 8 reps, and say I know that I can confidently do it at around 185, maybe 200, okay? And I'm shooting for 200, but I'm confident at 185. So again, my first set is going to be the empty barbell, so 45 pounds for 10 reps. Now, the barbell is 45 pounds. That is still a decent amount of weight. If you are not comfortable under the barbell, then maybe you're starting with a goblet squat, and maybe all your working sets are the barbell for 5 to 8 reps. And that's okay too, but you would still want to do at least one ramp up set with a goblet squat, okay? So for me, I'm doing 45 pounds for 10 reps. That feels pretty good. So I go up to 135 for, let's say I do 6 reps, and that feels decent as well. And so this last ramp up set, I might even do 1 or 2 more ramp up sets. Everyone is different on how many sets they want to do, and what some people like a little bit longer warm up, some people don't need quite as much, but maybe for this one I'm like, okay, 135 felt great, so I'm going to go up to 175 for 2 reps, and that felt really great, okay? So now I know, okay, maybe my first set is going to be 185, but then I might jump up to 195, okay? I might throw on 185, and then I do 1 rep, and if that's like still feeling really, really good, cool, I'll bump up to 195 or 200. If that feels pretty terrible, I could either stay there for my 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps at 175, or I bump up to 185. So in this example, I'm going to bump up to 195 because it felt great. Maybe I get 6 reps, and then I'm going to stay there because that's challenging but feeling good, and I get 6, 5, and 5. Now I've gotten 3 sets of 5 to 6 reps at 195, and every single rep, even my ramp up sets, I performed them very well. I practiced depth. That's going to help with my mobility. I warmed up my joints, woken up my nervous system, and made sure that I was practicing great form. And that is going to help you get the most out of those 3 sets at 195. So again, if this is still a little confusing and you have no idea where you're at, but you want to practice and you want to get better at those big barbell movements, then ask your coach, and we would love to help. I hope that this was helpful and some good information. Until next time.